Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today, we'll be going over if it's worth playing Ark in 2023. I will present a bunch of information, and at the very end, I will give my personal answer. Before we get into the video, I just want to mention that I'm speaking from my experience. I have a total of around 11,000 hours on Ark, so I think I have a decent viewpoint on how the game is. Most of those hours were spent on PvP. I've maybe spent around 5 hours or so on PvE. So I can't really speak how PvE is, but I'd imagine it's not in a bad state. And I can't really. I think this video is mostly gonna apply to PvP, because the thing is, like, honestly, if you enjoy the aspect of PvE on Ark, I don't see why you wouldn't play it in 2023. But I'll be going over the aspect of PvP for the most part. I might bring up some issues with PvE throughout the video. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, for those who have not heard of Ark Survival Evolved or don't have a particular idea of what the game is based around, pretty much to sum it up, it's a survival based game where you can tame dinosaurs, you can do a lot of things. There's two game modes. There's PvP and PvE. And pretty much, if you haven't played Ark, I don't know so much about the PvE aspect, but the PvP aspect, pretty much to play this game for PvP, you can't really just like get into it. It's not your typical game where it's like Call of Duty where you can just get on the game and then get off. Ark is more of like a dedication type of game. I believe that's also why not a lot of people play Ark. On top of that, a lot of game mechanics that you have to learn. And the game doesn't actually really teach you the game mechanics. There is like a tutorial, but pretty much if you need to find out anything about Ark, you use YouTube. Pretty much will help you with starting up. So the thing about Ark is, if you haven't played it yet, I would highly recommend playing it with a bunch of friends, because I think that's when the game is the most fun, when you're like fresh to the idea of Ark. It's actually really fun. You kind of lose this feeling after like the first 100 hours into the game, because you kind of get the idea of what you need to do. But honestly, this game is really fun though. Like, I have so many memories when I first picked it up. It's like kind of like Minecraft. Honestly, that's the closest game I could compare Ark to. It's like very similar, such as the idea of where you can build and you build your own base or house. But I would say that Ark is way more complicated than Minecraft, because the amount of shit that you have to learn to play this game, at least as far as PvP, um, like if you first installed the game today and you load it up on an official server of PvP, you'd most likely get destroyed within like an hour or so, or the same day. And it's kind of hard to like get into Ark if you haven't played it before, especially nowadays too, because everyone's like all built up. If you try unofficial servers, you're not gonna even have much luck there. But if you want to pick up Ark, I would definitely recommend single player or a private server so you can play with your friends, at least until you learn the game. You can still have fun. Like, the game still has a purpose, even if it's not PvP. You can still do like the boss fights, finish the storyline. Then there's so many other things you could do aside from just raiding and stuff that you see on YouTube videos. The mods that are made by the actual community are like pretty crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Also, all the free DLCs that have been added into Ark were once made by the community, and then the actual devs polished them and released them, such as Rag, Valg, and yada yada yada. Alright, so I want to keep this video as unbiased as possible. I'm aware that my previous videos have been incredibly biased and given the narrative that Ark is in a shit state. The first information I'll be showing you guys is how the player base has been for the last 3 months or so. You guys can see. Um, in the last 30 days, there's been a decline. Actually, there's been a decline since January. So these are the last 3 months now for the what we're looking at. So in January we had almost 60,000 players. 60 days later, roughly, it's come down to 47,000 average players, and it looks like it's on a steady decline. If we look down, Ark has been on a steady decline for some time now. There was some peaks during last year when they were giving the game out for free for Epic and Steam. But since then, I believe it's only going to go down from now on. So, what does the statistics tell us about the game? Pretty much it says that not a lot of people are playing Ark, which isn't necessarily bad because there's been a lot of new games like Overwatch and many more. On the YouTube side of things, a bunch of YouTubers are still pulling in a bunch of views. Like we look at Syntax, for example. He's still pulling in hundreds and thousands of viewers every video. All right, so what does Ark have going for it as of 2023? Recently, as far as updates, they still add new updates like the events and stuff, but Wildcard has came out and said that there will be no more maps or DLCs to be added to the game. As far as dinosaurs, they recently added the Carcharodontosaurus. I don't know how to pronounce it. Carcharodontosaurus. That's what it's called. It's pretty much a dinosaur that it's kind of like the Giga, but a little bit shittier. It has to like build up, but it has some potential. But yeah, like that's pretty much what Ark has going for it. According to Wildcard, Ark 2 is supposed to come out this year, and pretty much Ark 1 is in its final stages. You can't really blame the game for being in a less popular state than the game was before, because of the fact that the new game is coming out, so people are waiting until then. But yeah, I think that's honestly all the information I can provide for you guys. Next, I'll be going over my personal answer to this question: is Ark worth playing in 2023? Before I get into that, first I want to mention that I'm really stoked for Ark 2. I think it's going to be a great game, and I have faith in Wildcard.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop you fucking lying.
Alright, so to answer this, the answer is no. I don't think it's worth playing Ark in 2023. I've recently stopped playing the game, and actually this will be my last video that I release for Ark, and maybe I'll make some videos when Ark 2 comes out, but for Ark 1, my time has come. But I'd like to say to Wildcard, it's been a pleasure. It's been probably like the last 3 years since like COVID started and stuff. I've just been non-stop playing this game. I think I started around 2019, and I'd be lying to say that this game isn't fun. Truly, this is my first game that I've ever had 10,000 hours in total, and probably I don't think any game will ever come even close to the amount of hours that I spent on this game. Do I regret it? Not really. I mean, this game was fun. Personally, I think it was my time for me to make a change and try something new. So the reasons that I've officially stopped was the game is truly in a shit state. That's not really up for debate. I could only really enjoy the game in the PvP aspect, and as you know, Wildcard doesn't really resolve anything. If you look at their website that they use to take care of cheating, like the ticket forms and stuff, it always says high ticket volume. And realistically, if you're getting cheated on and you're getting raided, by the time Wildcard responds, it'll probably already be too late. And that's just the sad reality of Ark. Like, people spend thousands and thousands of hours for it to all just be gone because, not even because of a skill issue, but because the devs couldn't enforce their own game. I think that's pretty sad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've mentioned this before. Ark is a perfect concept. I think it's probably the most fun game ever. The only issue is that it's executed poorly because of the devs. And at the end of the day, it's not really worth playing this game and wasting all your time, because there's so many other things that you could be doing instead of playing Ark. But hey, it's been a pleasure. If you guys made it to the end of the video, you must be amazing.